Hey, welcome to lesson number 6. And this lesson we're going to finally add the makeup on this girl. It's going to be really easy. We'll be using the brush and the blending modes to create a nice looking makeup effect. So let's begin. Let's create a new layer and let's call this layer lipstick, because we're going to draw a little lipstick on the lips. And now we want to grab the brush tool and make it, let's see how much bigger we want it. Make it like 300 pixels and make sure, of course, that it's a soft brush. And now let's grab a color, maybe kind of like a magenta. Like this, a dark magenta. Doesn't matter because we can always turn the opacity down. Press OK, and now we're going to draw the shape of the mouth. Pay no attention to the details now because we can fix them later. Just paint the shape of the mouth, of the lips. Great. It's going to look very weird now, but go to the blending modes and select soft light, and you can see where we are going. Of course, we can leave it like this because it looks really freaky, but we want to turn the opacity to 40%. Let's set the opacity to 100 right now because we want to delete some of the parts. Grab the eraser tool and select a smaller pixel size and delete the parts that came off the mouth of the lips so that it doesn't look weird anymore. Make sure that only the lips are painted. Alright. Of course, it looks super weird still. Let's set this and then to 40%. And now you see that it looks way better. Now the lips. And the nice part is that you can always change the color with no problem at all. You want to maybe put a different color like this one, you can go and set it to the background color and press Ctrl Shift Backspace and it goes like this, a much natural tone. You can paint it any color that you want. You can paint it yellow and it's going to look, well, it looks a little weird, but what I'm trying to say is that you can paint it any color that you want. Alright, this one is perfect. Okay, so that's it for the lipstick. Now let's create a new layer and we're going to call it cheeks. And this one is pretty easy. We're going to grab the brush tool and set it to maybe 800. I think even bigger. Let's go to 1000 and set the color. We can use this same color, kind of a pink color, and just give it a touch here and here, and this one will be set to soft light, and we're going to make the opacity pretty low so that it gives a nice pinkish tone on the cheeks but doesn't take too much attention. Erase the parts that you don't want to be painted pink, of course, and play with opacity until you are happy with the results. I think 25% is a nice amount of tone. Yep. And now for the eyes, it's going to take a little more time. Create a new layer, call it eyeshadow 1. We're going to make it on 3 different layers. The first one, just grab the brush tool, make it a little bigger, like 1200 pixels. Alright, something like this, maybe. And grab the black tone, maybe make it not entirely black, kind of like this tone, and just draw the entire eyes. It will look super creepy, but of course we're going to fix that. Alright, kind of like this, really creepy. Now set the soft light and turn the opacity down to maybe 50%. Maybe even less, 40%. Okay. Now grab a new layer and call it eyeshadow 2. Set the brush tool to 400 pixels and give a little more detail just on this part of the eyes. The blending mode to soft light again, and the opacity, I think 25% will do. Yeah, looking so much better. And finally, create a new layer and call it eyeshadow 3. Grab your brush tool again, set it to maybe 80 pixels, and draw a line like this just on the eyelids. You can play a little here. And set it again to soft light and make it much transparent, maybe to 60%. Now you can see that she looks like she had some makeup on her. You can play with anything that you want. If you want the cheeks to be a different tone, maybe set the cheeks to kind of like an orange tone, you can do that, or leave it at pink. Maybe go to 20% instead of 25%. And whenever you are happy with the results, grab all these layers, all the makeup layer, and make a group and call it makeup. Now let's see how she looks with or without makeup. I think she looks beautiful with or without makeup, but for the sake of the course, you can see that the makeup is looking really nice. You can adjust anything that you want anytime. If you want to make things smoother, call the eyeshadow, call it to 25% maybe. Maybe this eyeshadow 3, set it lower, because we don't want her to look weird, like some kind of clownish. We just want to put some makeup on her. And you can see that only with the brush tool and the blending mode we can create a very realistic makeup. If you see this, you could think that the image is like this, that the girl was had wearing makeup and then took a picture. You wouldn't think that it was all done in Photoshop. So for the final lesson, we're going to look at the before and after of this image and adding some final effects. See you in the next one.